This is BOBcast.
BuffaloBrotherhood.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Buffalo Brotherhood. This is the BOBcast, our weekly podcast. This is episode 105, and I am Ryan. Alongside me, as always, is
Mike.
And across the table from him is Violet Beauregard. Or, as we like to call her,
Doug.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we're here. I'm glad to be here. The weather is warming up. It's beautiful outside, or at least it was. It's we're getting closer to spring.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain tomorrow. We were able to go golfing last week. The three of us were able to go golfing last week. I'm just gonna keep on plowing through.
Did you have that cued?
No, that was me.
Oh, was
just
it?
said it.
Oh, I didn't.
That's good, Mike. It's good. It's good. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I was distracted by a picture of friend of the show, Michael Welsh, posing with, I think, Ted Cruz's wife.
Oh.
I think.
Well,
I bet she loved that.
We are going to talk about politics tonight because Indiana becomes important. Indiana becomes important. Mike's earlier prediction has essentially come true.
Not as much as it would have been if he didn't win, like, basically all of the delegates in the Northeast.
Yeah.
That's true.
But it's still important.
It's still important. Indiana's primary is this coming Tuesday, and though we won't have much to say about the Democratic primaries, we all three have lots to think about for what we're doing on the Republican side of things.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah, deep thoughts. And we can jump right in and talk about that right away if you guys want to. Really?
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess the big question comes with Doug. Should we start on Doug, Mike? Let's start with Doug.
I don't care.
Doug,
Who should we vote for?
are you?
They can't see that.
Yeah.
What?
Are you currently registered as a Republican?
Yes.
Okay.
But the primaries doesn't matter.
Correct.
You still have to. We don't get to vote for both, do we?
You don't get
You
to vote
can
for
choose.
both, but when you walk in, you can be registered Republican and still vote Democrat.
Don't you remember Operation Chaos?
I don't remember Operation Chaos.
That was when. Okay.
I was
way back in
Can I
2008.
write in Rand Paul is all I want to.
Yes, you can.
I will do that.
In
Can you write in
2000.
on the primaries?
Actually, primary you might not.
I don't think
Actually,
he's
I
on the
think
primaries.
he might actually be on the primary ballot though. Still, I think he's on. A lot of times, even candidates that drop out, once they get put on the ballot, they're on the ballot, so you can still vote for him technically.
So I can still vote for Ben Carson? All right.
I'm sure you could.
What about Filoni, though?
Filoni.
Or what's her name?
Carly
Filoni?
Fiorina.
Oh, don't worry. She could be vice
Fiorina.
president when
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is an elected president.
Well, I saw that. That's what I'm saying is that I read today that she's now.
Did you say when he isn't elected president?
But what is she still in the ballot then for presidential?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what all ballots she made or didn't make.
All right. So okay. So can you register as a?
Anyway, Operation Chaos.
Okay, go.
Just quick.
2002.
2008.
Okay.
Rush Limbaugh instituted Operation Chaos. It was basically to convince Republicans to switch to Democrat in primaries where you could primaries and maybe caucus states where you could go in and vote either way, to instead of voting for Hillary, vote for anybody else, probably Obama.
Thanks, Rush.
So, well,
I vaguely do remember that.
2008, it. I mean, really, in the primary, it didn't matter because John McCain had it locked up anyway.
Right.
So, he was just trying to block Hillary from getting it, which she does a good enough job of that herself.
Right. So. Absolutely. Has continued to do so, but she's still winning. So.
Well,
she hasn't really had opposition this time.
She's done a lot better job of throwing, I think, the money around and getting out there and buying people off better than she did last time. And look who her competitor is, an old kooky socialist. So, he's not he's not a Barack Obama. He's not a charismatic, semi-attractive black man.
Okay.
So
I don't know how to go. I don't know where to go from that, but yeah.
Whoa.
I
Well,
know, right? I feel like
that's
we had
how
some
that's
sort of
how
admission.
that's how he was described. In the media, that's how they described when they were wooing all over him 8 years ago.
As you continue to woo today, it sounds like.
So anyway,
Well, okay, so I guess can we get back to the heart of the question then? So you're registered as a Democrat or registered as a Republican.
right? Yeah, I am.
It doesn't matter though. I guess you're going in there. You've got the choices in front of you. Are you going to stick to the Republican primary, or are you going to you're going to go to your values, go to your core, and pull that libertarian ticket for Gary Johnson and tell the two-party system that you're not going to play by their rules?
I don't know. Like I said, part of me would just kind of like to see Trump versus Clinton and just see the fireworks.
Well, I think
Because either way, neither one of them is going to be the president that I want. So if we're going to go down, we may as well go down with some entertainment. Is the way that I look at it.
True.
That's why I look at it. If the city's going to burn, might as well play the fiddle.
he might be. At least he'll probably be more honest with you.
Who?
That's
Trump?
what I kept telling. I told Sarah earlier. I said, if I had a choice between Sanders and Hillary, I'd take a socialist over a crook any days, because at least the socialist is going to say, "Hey, I'm taking your money.
Right.
This is how I'm going to do it, and this is where it's going." But Hillary would just take it and hide it.
If I honestly thought he could eliminate my student loan debt, then I would vote for him in a heartbeat. I'll be honest.
Obama's already doing that.
How? I'm still forking out a third of my paycheck.
I just read about it maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. The Department of Education picked like 400 or 500,000 students who were considered handicapped or disabled and unable to basically find work, and forgave all of their federal student loans.
You just need to gain like another 100 pounds.
Don't give me the temptation.
Then you could be considered disabled.
These are people that had probably filed, multiple, appeals saying I cannot find work and there's no way I can pay back my debt. So
The president's. I didn't know the presidency had the power to like give.
Well, through the Department of Education,
What's it called?
I'm assuming they can do whatever they want.
I don't know.
What's it
Loan
called
forgiveness?
when you're in prison and the
What?
When they forgive
the
your
warden?
prison.
Commute a sentence?
no, not commute sentence. That's just speed up. Just say it never happened. Like they did for Nixon as soon as he was out of
Pardon?
office. The pardon. Yeah, I didn't know they could pardon student loan debt. Interesting power.
I'm assuming through the Department of
Well, they're making tons of money off the interest alone.
right. A lot of banks are making a lot of money.
I pay more interest on my student loans than I do on my house or my car, which is ridiculous.
Well, it just depends on if it gets to the point that they need a lot of students to vote a certain way. Then yes, they will. Then they'll probably start forgiving.
No, because he's getting a student vote because he's promising free college, free education. But I even checked his website because I wanted to make sure I knew. But they're not offering any loan forgiveness. They're talking about lowering the interest rate.
Right.
They're talking about.
Ryan, really, if the thing with the federal loans is between the repayment options that you have now, you effectually can pay nothing forever.
It's true.
I can't.
Why can't you?
He can't.
Because I make money. I'm married, and my wife makes money.
Then lose your job. Just go on total assistance.
I'll tell
It's
you
not
how
a benefit unless you take advantage of it.
I'll tell you how to get around it.
Well, I know the whole file single, claim both children.
Yeah.
But then you don't have enough money to survive.
Well, as a teacher, though, don't you get after 10 years?
Only if you're teaching in a low-income school? And only then it's only like $14,000 will be absolved.
Huh.
Well,
that's fun.
Guess you should have stayed in Marion or wherever you were at.
That would have been worth it, right?
Yeah. Well, I was spending more on gas than what
Right.
I probably was spending in
So, getting back to the original question, I will probably stick Republican, and just for, fun and giggles, to keep it G-rated.
Good job.
I will probably just vote for Trump, just to see what's going to happen. I'd love to vote for Rand, but Rand's not in it anymore. And
I'm voting for him anyway.
You know, and like I was complaining earlier, I'd vote for Libertarian, but the problem is that they always focus so much on the frickin' marijuana thing. Just get over the marijuana thing. Let's talk about the Federal Reserve, central banking, trade, the warfare state. Let's start hammering. It'd be what would really be awesome. Actually, what I would love to have what would I would love.
Yeah, they want us out of it.
What I would love to happen is I would love for this is my perfect storm is Trump to basically have the votes or
They're
almost
all get in the same airplane.
Almost have enough votes, go to convention, and it's contested, and they give it to Marco Rubio, somebody else. Okay? Then Hillary gets hers. She's the Democrat nominee. Sanders decides, you're a crook. I'm going to run independent. Trump decides to run independent. And then they both clamor loud enough to try to get into debates. And then that way Gary Johnson and other candidates can call for, hey, if they're getting in, then we should be allowed in. And then have national debates with, Libertarian can have exposure. And, I mean, honestly, we haven't had anything really like that probably since Ross Perot ran, really.
Right. So fracture the two main parties enough.
Yeah, break them.
Break them. Break them. Break them.
I mean, really, that's already happening. I mean, the two parties that we have, the Democratic Party, they've got a problem because the white voter, the lower middle income white voter feels ostracized. They're not getting from anything out of the Democratic Party, the traditional blue collar.
Yeah, even the unions are blindly following the Democrats.
Right. They're starting to realize that. I mean, and even some blacks blacks still heavily vote Democrat, but even some of them are starting to become disenfranchised. So you have the Democrats pulling big on the Latino vote as new lifeblood, and even the Republicans, they want to fight over the Latino vote. And you have this fracture where a lot of these older grassroots alliances that were kind of the bread and butter of the parties are starting to feel ostracized, especially among whites who are still the majority in the country. And I think that if ever now was the time for a third party to emerge, or multiple parties to emerge, it would probably be now, just born out of all the frustration that everybody has.
I just think, and I know this is maybe taking it down a different road, but I'd like to see one of those, like the Libertarian Party, change their name to one of the more legacy sort of parties, because we've had other parties before.
The Bull Moose.
Yeah, bring the Bull Moose back. Bring the whip and the wigs back.
The wigs.
Yeah, bring them back. That way it's not like we're having a new party. We're just reinvigorating an old party.
Isn't there other one?
Yeah, I thought the whips was one as well.
The wigs were the
there was like the Democratic Republic Party,
right? Yes.
So
I'm looking it up. Hold on, because you can see the other party, the Federalist.
Yeah, bring the Federalist back.
Democratic Republican.
Yeah,
the Whig, Independent. And then I think that's it.
Yep, that's probably it.
Because now I'm already up to Grover Cleveland.
Well, you got
Grover Cleveland.
I'm just looking at winners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's just we're not that way. It's less scary if people think that we're just reinvigorating something that's already been established.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
but, I was looking back some crazy. Presidential sort of stats going into Abe Lincoln only had 20% of the popular vote, only had 20% of the delegates when he went into the
really
his first
went into the 1860 Republican convention, and he come out with the nomination.
Yeah, look where that got us.
What are you talking about?
Civil War.
Well, the Civil War was coming. Whether he
no, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
What? You guys? Seriously?
No.
Okay. All right.
If it wasn't for when he freed the slaves for one, he
didn't do that till 2 years into the Civil War.
Yeah. Don't ever pretend that freeing the slaves.
No, I know that's not the main reason for it.
It's not a reason.
Okay.
It really isn't.
He even said that he had no intention on.
He wasn't going to free the slaves.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do it.
But it was only until the North was getting their butts whooped that they realized maybe we should use this as a additional rallying cry. I mean, there are how many million blacks that we have an army down there.
Right.
So,
To free them.
but not to get into, anyway.
Andrew Jackson was another presidential election that sort of kind of went haywire, and he ended up with the job.
Yeah.
Getting him off the 20.
Good
Yeah.
man. He's probably glad to be off the 20.
Well, he's going to be on the back of the 20 still.
Yeah.
From the design, I understand.
Since he fought and defeated the central bank.
Right.
Last president to do so.
Right.
Last president to have a balanced budget.
Right.
He was terrible.
But
He owned slaves.
But he wasn't a great. He wasn't a career politician. He was a businessman. He was an army man.
He had a parrot that had to be removed from his funeral because it was cursing too much. Did you know that?
No, that's interesting.
Yeah. He owned a parrot that cursed too much.
He opened up the White House
And had
on
a
his
party.
And had a party, and it got trashed.
He's from Tennessee. What do you expect?
Yeah. See, I mean, that was a contested.
He probably was going to make America great again. He did make America great again.
He did. Didn't get reelected though, did he? Wasn't he a one-term president?
I think so.
Let's see here. I'm on this page.
You just happen to be on his page.
His Facebook
I
page.
am.
I like Andrew.
In office 1829 to 1837.
Oh, so he did 2 years.
Yeah.
He did 2 terms. That's pretty cool.
Old Hickory.
All right. Well, I'm
Well, you're a Republican, Ryan.
yes, and I'm going to write in Rand Paul's name.
I think you can vote for him.
I'm
I
gonna
do
vote
think
for
he's
him.
on the ballot.
I'm going to vote for him.
Okay.
But I'm same with you. I mean, there's nobody there that I want. There's nobody there that I think is good for the country.
Right.
If anybody, obviously, I'm not concerned that Donald Trump, I think, is going to run anyway, regardless whether or not he gets it or not.
Oh, yeah.
He's loving this. He loves being the center of attention.
I can tell you this. I think that Hillary, and I've said it before, I think that Hillary Clinton and their people are terrified to run against him.
Right.
They are petrified.
Now, but she's getting of an age where, like last time, she can't just pull out and sit back another 4 years.
No,
and wait
this
for
is
things
it.
to turn closer to her favor, because that's the way I always understood like the 2008 election.
Right.
She didn't necessarily lose as much as she just said, "We're gonna step back and let him have it. Let Barack have a shot."
Well, she knew that she couldn't stop it.
Well, I
mean,
understand that too, but
the supposed historical force that was behind Obama, she couldn't stop that. So
and the same force of getting a female president does not seem to be there.
no, because everybody pretty much realizes that she's a corrupt human being. So
She's a lizard person.
yes, probably so.
She's a lizard person inside the
She is a morally bankrupt human being.
Lizard person.
lizard
Morally bankrupt reptilian
Okay,
person.
there
Nice.
we go.
That's why Democratic vote is over 20% lower this time around than it was.
It's like nobody cares.
Well, yeah, they don't. I mean, all the excitement that's out there on the Democratic side is for Bernie Sanders.
And they are excited.
And I honestly think, some people are saying, okay, yeah, I'll pull my nose and vote for Clinton on the Democrat side, but I think a lot of Republicans, when they get down to it, they're going to be like, do we really want another Clinton in the White House? Even though we may have to vote for this, egotistical, bombastic person, they'll probably hold their nose and pull the lever for Trump in the general election.
I don't know.
So-
We'll have to wait and see. It's exciting. Mike, are you going to vote on Tuesday?
Yes.
Who are you going to vote for? It's just us and all of Iceland right here.
I know. It's a hard decision, and I think just because I want to see, because he's not going to get Trump, I don't think is going to get enough votes. It's still going to go contested. But I kind of want to see Cruz get more votes to get closer to him, so the contested convention's a little bit more exciting. I don't know if that's a great way to look at it.
I really don't see it being contested now. I think that he's just
he has to win He has to win a huge chunk of California still.
Trump only has to win 45% of the remaining delegates to get to 1237.
And then, because we're a split,
the other two cannot. They're statistically.
We're a proportional state, so it'll be based on he'll get per area, and then there's
per district,
and then
California, I think, is winner take all per district.
Okay, so it's like you have to, okay. So
you win the majority in the district, you get all the. They're predicting that Trump should take at least. He'll get at least 50% of California's.
Most of Northern California.
And he will probably win Indiana at this point.
Really? You think so?
Because, yeah.
I think he'll win Indiana just because.
Well, because a lot of.
I really think Cruz is going to win Indiana.
No. A lot of people were mad at the whole Cruz Kasich thing. Like, that PO'd a lot of people. They're like you're just illustrating the point that Trump's making, that the system is rigged because you two are trying to play this game to stop him. So a lot of Cruz supporters have actually defected over to Trump, and you have the huge anger in the Rust Belt in the North. And I think they're going to in the North and the rural areas, and they're a lot more motivated than the donut around Indy. So that's where Cruz, all of his votes are going to come from Marion and the surrounding counties. Maybe some in Fort Wayne,
I got a mailer today for pro-Trump.
Oh, did you?
On the back of it was "Stop Evil Ted."
Evil or not Lion Ted?
It was Evil Ted, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was Evil Ted.
Not Lion Ted.
Not Lion Ted. It was Evil Ted.
Little Marco and Lion Ted.
Evil Ted cost us jobs. Evil Ted is not unpolitical.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he will take. I think Trump will take Indiana. I think it'll probably be.
We're enough redneck. It's going to happen.
I think Trump will probably. I mean, as far as votes go, he'll probably get somewhere. My guess is 50-ish. 50 to 55%.
60. 64%. 64%. What do you say, Mike?
How of Indiana?
Yeah.
Of our votes. The breakdown.
Of the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Trump will probably be around 55.
64.
Really?
Yeah.
Think it'll be that high?
They only had him like 7 points or something like that winning.
64.
I think Kasich will probably be around maybe 10 to 15%.
Always forget
Cruz
about
will have
Kasich.
the difference. Huh?
Always forget about Kasich.
He's just a technocrat. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but he's just an old.
Everybody was talking about he's playing for vice president. Look what happened with that, So with Fiorina, I can never say her name. Carly Fiorina.
Fiorina.
HP. Just say HP.
Yeah.
That was dumb. Like, why would he do that?
I think he did that. The reason he announced that was because when he did this deal with Kasich, everyone thought that the behind the door deal was that he was giving Kasich the vice presidency, and I don't think that he wanted.
Well, he's
that
trying to make a play
through.
for California. He thinks that Fiorina is going to help him out there because that's where she was from.
Right.
So
he's just in his backyard trying to get his basketball into his ring.
Yeah.
He's doing the best he can.
Oh my God! Don't even. I mean.
Well, at least he doesn't talk about 7-Eleven and the towers coming down.
Coach
7-Eleven.
Coach Knight said you got to vote for Trump. So,
I know he did.
I mean, that's going to carry some water with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no.
That's
small
why I'm
thing.
saying 64%.
If it's that high, that would be surprising.
I'm giving.
I'll just take my family as like an eyedropper.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family is voting for Trump except for me.
You mean
and there's 10
your father and
there's prospective wives and so forth and
no, but
if you can't write in or
what?
If you can't write in your option,
what?
and he's not on the ticket, who are you going to vote for?
Nobody. I'm walking out.
I don't believe you.
He'll vote for Trump.
He will.
I won't vote for Trump. I really.
He's like, my hands are clean.
No, I don't. And it's not even that. Because like I said, obviously I think he's going to win. I said 64%. And obviously I think we kind of need him to win. If any change is actually going to happen, we need a strong and independent Trump.
A strong leader.
And to be honest, if half the thing he says that he would do or that he actually could do, then it probably wouldn't be that bad.
I mean, no, like I said, some of the things that he says.
I don't think he's necessarily being honest.
No, that's the thing is, who knows what he actually thinks or believes?
Exactly.
That's the biggest problem. But that's the same with any politician. They say one thing and then they do whatever they're told to do by those that own them. So he's no different in that regard.
I don't know.
I think I should run next time.
I'm just kind of
Do
sick of it. It's bad. I mean, I've paid attention ever since I could vote. I've paid attention, and it's like I'm just sick of all of it this year for some reason. Like, I think it's maybe because it's been shoved down our throats so much this election, like more than any other election. I just think it's just like, come on.
Yeah, but for the exact same reason, this has been like no other election.
Yeah, but
it's like we're living in history right now.
We're to the point now where I'm not a big fan of any of them. So now I'm sick of it. But now I'm sick of it.
No, there are people that are big fans for
Trump. I think one of them is going to be the
Bernie.
Antichrist. See, we always thought it was going to be 4 years ago, but no, it's right now, and we're all blindly
honestly.
like
I
lambs to the slaughter.
I think the most honest candidate in it is probably Bernie Sanders. I mean, if you're just going to go off honesty, I think he's probably the most honest guy that's there. But
he has birds that approach him and sit on his podium.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest.
That was a pretty good video. That was funny.
I mean, it's like he's like Johnny Appleseed reincarnated, is what he is.
If you haven't seen that, watch that video of
the bird.
The bird
and that little bird is talking about peace or whatever he said.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty good video. He did a good job with it.
And if he was ever assassinated, you could just put Larry David in his place.
He'll die in office.
So
if he gets elected, he'll die in office.
No, he wouldn't. They just put like robotic parts inside of him.
He'll be the oldest, wouldn't he? If he won.
If he won, is he older than Reagan? When Reagan won?
Reagan was in his 80s, wasn't he? That's good Reagan face, by the way. He's a good Reagan.
Speaking of that, do you see the thing with
Bernie
Will Ferrell?
Sanders is 74 right now.
No.
Will Ferrell was going to do.
Oh yeah, the Reagan. This
lined up to do a comedy that was he was going to play Ronald Reagan in his second term when his dementia first kind of started taking effect, and the crux of the story was that one of his aides convinced him that he was playing president in a movie, basically, and that was what the comedy was about.
Did he get shut down?
He backed out after.
I would hope so.
After the outrage of Ronald Reagan's family, basically saying, "Yeah, making fun of dementia and Alzheimer's is really funny."
But it's not, Doug.
He would be the oldest. He was 70 when he was elected. Ronald Reagan was born in 1911.
Really?
Ronald Reagan was born in 1911. He was elected in 81. So he was 70 when he got elected. Bernie Sanders is 74. So he would be the oldest elected president.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We just got to keep pulling from that same greatest generation.
Right.
We don't really have anything else to offer.
Well, Trump.
Well, then we should get Bob Dole.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, Bob Dole.
Yeah.
Where's my pen?
Hey, that's mean, man.
That's mean.
Right.
That's as bad as making fun of dementia. Stroke and stuff is not
that's
good.
Not stroke. He got damaged in World War II.
Vietnam.
Trump's
no,
close.
Bob Dole was in World War II.
Check this out.
Bob Dole was in World War II?
Yes.
Trump's going to tie Reagan.
He's going to be 70?
He's going to be 70 because he turns 70 on June 14th.
How old is his wife?
Which one?
Melania.
His current wife.
I love that we're gonna make these people come.
Melania Knaus.
She can't be over 50.
They got married in 2005. She's 46.
Yeah.
She's born in 1970. Wow. 46, 56, 66.
Do you see the thing?
He was 24 when she was born. Oh, gross.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross. Well,
But yeah, he's
Hey.
going to tie him for the oldest president
If he wins.
if he wins.
if he wins.
The sad thing is
How
I
old's
think
Hillary?
if he gets the general, I think he's going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think Hillary. I don't think there's a thing she can do. She's too damaged a candidate, and I don't know that Obama won't F her over, and that they release all of this FBI. That's still happening. People seemed it's simmering there.
Hillary will be the second oldest president if she gets elected. She'll be 69.
Congratulations, you've elected an old cranky white woman.
Oh man. I don't know. Ted Cruz is what? He's in his 50s, right?
He's a vampire, so who knows?
That's true.
All right, gentlemen, I think we've beaten this topic to death.
He's 45. He'll be 46.
All right. So
December 22nd.
The next time,
he's as old as Trump's wife.
cool. So the next time that we talk, the primaries will be over. So do you think Trump will be the nominee?
Will we have the convention by then?
No, but the next time we talk, Indiana, and I think California. When's California's? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Did we lose it?
No, it just shuts off.
Indiana's will at least be over.
Let's see.
I'm saying 64%.
64%. Trump's going to win Indiana.
I feel like I need to write this down.
Okay.
June 7th.
Okay, so we got a wild California.
Is that the last one?
So if Trump dominates in Indiana, do you think Ted Cruz will back out? You think or is he going to ride it out to the end?
He's going to ride it out to the end.
What do you think, Ryan?
Because he's going to still go for
yeah.
California because he still thinks he can get the contested convention. And if he does, then
I think if
still thinks
he
he can
loses
get it.
handily in Indiana, I think the call there may start to be a call for.
You really think no? Because I think
No.
the establishment is hoping for a contested convention. I don't think they're ever going to be
he's
like
going to ride it out.
Yeah.
He's going to ride out just as well as Sanders does. Sanders doesn't have a chance now, but he's going to ride it out.
I think some of the heat for the idea of a contested convention is going to subside.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I think Cruz is going to win Indiana.
I hope not.
Okay, I said 64. Doug, what did you say?
55.
Mike.
For Trump?
Yep.
My Trump percentage? I never said one.
I know you didn't.
48.
48.
How's that possible? If you think Cruz is going to win, you don't leave any room there for
No.
Oh, Kasich.
You don't leave any room for Kasich.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I give Cruz 50, I could give Cruz 48%.
You could. You give Cruz.
I'll give Cruz 48%.
Okay.
And Kasich like 10,
So you're putting Trump at
32.
32. Yeah.
32%.
Wow, that's low. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's going to. There's no way it's going to be that low.
I don't think it's going to be as high as you say. You guys say.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
We'll
Better
see.
get out and vote.
Okay.
The point is, exercise your constitutional duty
Right.
and go vote because it'll make a difference.
Do you guys want anything to eat? I have plenty of pudding, plenty of Jell-O, plenty of mashed potatoes, soft foods in my fridge right now.
Why do you have all these soft foods?
My wife
man?
had her tonsils taken out.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
As an adult.
As an adult.
wow.
Did you have a circumcision this week too?
No.
Oh.
I don't know a moil.
Oh. I'm just trying to think of other things. Did anybody have their wisdom teeth taken out?
No.
A while back, like
I still have my tonsils. I still
10
have my
years ago.
wisdom teeth.
How's that appendix?
Don't have my foreskin.
I still have mine. It's still attached.
I have my appendix. I don't have my gallbladder.
Gallbladder, that's right.
Gallbladder's the only thing I'm missing.
Mike or Doug, you missing anything?
wisdom teeth.
You have your tonsils?
Yeah.
Really?
Why wouldn't I have my
Adenoids?
tonsils?
You have your adenoids?
He said the only
Yeah.
thing he's missing is his wisdom teeth.
That's crazy.
Do you still have your tonsils?
No.
Why'd you get your tonsils taken out?
Well, it's not like it was a conscious decision to me when I was 6.
Did you have tubes in your ears too?
Yep, tubes, adenoids, tonsils.
Nope, none of that.
Well,
Well, she had her tonsils removed.
they put tubes in her ear?
No.
Oh.
There were kids getting tubes in their ears the same day.
Did she have worms in her tubes?
No. She
had to go last, didn't
polyps.
she?
No, she was one of the first ones.
Oh.
She had polyps removed from her nose again because they grew back.
I don't understand. I'm imagining like the heads of like mushrooms, like a little more.
I don't know. I have no clue. But all I know is that the first time she went in and saw the doctor, he said, basically, if you had to rate a 1 to 5 as a scale, 5 being the worst that anyone's nose could be in, you're like a 4.5.
I thought you were going to say you heard an 11.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
He said it's one of the. He says basically everything you could have wrong other than it being actually closed, because people were born that way where their nostrils are actually completely like shut off.
So you'd always breathe out your mouth?
Yeah, but no, normally they have surgeries done early in life to get that done. But
take a drill.
Basically everything it could be wrong is wrong with her sinuses and all that stuff. So, but they went in and cleaned it out.
I thought that was kind of a risky thing that when you got older to do all that stuff with your nose.
And tonsils.
They've done it twice. The tonsils supposedly is more painful if you do it as an adult, but she's not doing too bad. I think it's because she's very good at building up pain bigger than what it turns out to be. So she was really freaking out like the night before because she's heard so many horror stories about tonsils being some of the worst things that you can ever do. You have to take all this time off, and even the nurses at the doctor's office was telling her she needs to take the full 2 weeks because this, that, and the other. And I told her, you can go back whenever. This is kind of BS. Here's some bureaucracy for you guys. She's telling me that because of her FMLA paperwork that she filled out to take the time off for work,
right?
She can't go back until the paperwork is signed. So if she felt good, wanted to go back to work, she couldn't until that paperwork is signed.
Well,
why
are we waiting to sign it? Who's waiting?
She has to go get the paperwork turned in and all this stuff. It could take another day when she could be going back to work. Her work will not accept her to come back to work unless that paperwork's filled out.
Well, fill out the paperwork.
No, like it has to be signed by the doctor's office.
Just
and all
be
that
born without tonsils like a real man. I mean, seriously, rip your own tonsils out. Don't go to the doctor. You should have done it for her.
Well, she's a girl, so.
That's true. Rub some dirt in it.
Playing the gender card, I see.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, which bathroom at Target is she going to use?
Oh, my God.
I'm so sick of that. Why are you talking about that?
It is so stupid.
Can we make one comment about it? I mean, not to because
I have a
I
comment.
just did.
I'm still shopping at Target.
I don't care one way or the other.
I don't care.
But here's the thing: is like if you dress and identify with one particular gender, and you walk into a restroom and go into the stall, I have no idea what's going on inside there.
It's not the question of that, Ryan. It's the question of a person that doesn't identify dressing up like a woman and going in there and recording or doing whatever.
But that's going to be illegal regardless.
I know.
They don't have to pass a law to say it's okay to do that. That's illegal regardless.
I don't even know why we have to pass a law for any of it when you could just say the private.
You don't have to.
Well, private sector.
It's what's happening is what should happen.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to start getting into the gender identity politics, Target, and you want to have a transgender this, that, and the other bathroom. Fine. If 1 million people want to boycott you and your stock starts to tank,
right,
deal with it.
Yeah.
That's the free market.
Yeah.
If all those people that are in support of it want to call those people, what transgenderophobes, then they'll have to deal with it. But guess what? We'll all get along. There'll be Walmart or whoever that doesn't have the transgender bathrooms you can go shop at. We'll survive and we'll figure it out.
I hate the one thing I hate about this situation is the people that are saying they're boycotting Target are the same people that were yelling at people because they were boycotting Chick-fil-A. It's the same people. They're boycotting Target now, and these same people that are boycotting Target were yelling about the people that were boycotting Chick-fil-A. These are the same people that were arguing with them. Why are you boycotting Chick-fil-A? They're just serving chicken, whatever. Well, Target has the best deal on diapers, so I'm going to go to Target.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stupid.
It's because because the world, people have become so whiny anymore that they cannot tolerate somebody that does not have the same opinion as them.
Right.
I mean, and it's on both sides. It's the far. I mean, in my personal opinion, this whole transgender thing is become absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's literally like a fraction of a percentage of the population.
Yeah.
You know, a teeny tiny, and why we're bending over backwards for this, like where the movements come from and why it's so important all of a sudden, I have no idea. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's ludicrous. But if Target wants to have bathrooms for the people, I don't give a crap.
What I think is going to happen is every place is going to get around it. Every place is going to go to single bathroom with one door, and it's just going to have a unisex sign on it, but it's going to be one bathroom. They're not going to have multiple stalls in one restroom anymore, and there's going to be a few of those. And that's how I think a lot of these corporations are going to get around it. When they start building new stores and things like that, they'll have a family restroom or whatever, and then they'll have a couple other restrooms that are just a unisex restroom, and they'll just be a single entity restroom. Single stall. Like, I don't know what term to use there. Single stall, is that the best?
You know who really is the loser in this whole situation?
Me, because I have to deal with all the crap?
The urinal cake companies, because they'll stop putting in urinals when they do that.
No.
Urinal cake stock is going to drop drastically.
Uline or whatever?
I don't know. I don't read. I look up. I don't look down.
I don't get it.
So you're the guy that misses.
No, man. I stand close.
My whole thing with this whole transgender issue has been,
how much more attention can people request?
I mean,
there's
look,
a larger population of disabled people. We don't worry about disabled or handicap accessible restrooms at all.
No,
but we worry about this. Well, there's a larger section of handicapped children. We don't worry about handicapped swings as much as we worry about this. My whole point is
they're pushing. Okay, this transgender movement, whatever it is,
smoke and mirrors.
It's
sure is. We're meeting with the 5 other alien species this whole time.
It's pushed so hard, like more and more, on whether you're gay, transgender, lesbian, whatever. My whole issue is stop pushing it on the kids. That's been my biggest thing. Sexuality is getting pushed more and more and more on kids that, honestly, when you're 6 or 7 years old, you shouldn't even have that mindset. Is not even there. There may, other than an infinitesimally small fraction of people that are, maybe born in. I read an article about it, and I agree with it, basically stating that your sex is binary. You are either other than the infinitesimally small fraction of people that are born with like the both genders basically, and parents have to choose what you want. You're either born a male or you're born a female. Biologically, that is a fact. You either have a vagina or you have a penis.
Right.
Therefore, you are male or female. You cannot get around that. The whole concept of gender is a construct that's built beyond that, through society of, okay, what does it mean to be a male? What does it mean to be what does it mean in your society to be a male or a female? And that builds through time, okay? And how that relates to sex, that's something that needs to healthfully develop as a child ages. But now, because it's become such a thing,
right,
that I seriously feel like parents with allies in these other movements that are pushing so hard to try to get traction, they're pushing this on to kids. And I think leave children alone. Mom and dad be there to support them. And if little Johnny, likes to be in dresses when he's 7, he may grow out of that. He may not be gay. He may not be transgender. But if all of a sudden mom sees an article and she's like, oh my God, maybe Johnny is this and that, and she starts, pushing that on the child, I think that's just going to screw that kid up.
Because whose attention does that feed? Does that feed Johnny, Joanne, or does that feed Mom?
Exactly.
And I was going to bring this up later, but it kind of leads into that, where I think people have gotten so selfish in the world that when I was in the waiting room while Sarah was, getting her stuff cut out of her face and all that
Right.
stuff. But while that was going on, I was sitting in the waiting room and I started to put my headphones in and stuff like that. But through the time that I was in there, I think there was about 3 or 4 different people playing a video or playing music or playing like something else or talking on a speakerphone, like all at the same time, like not even being considerate of the people around them to think, maybe that person doesn't want to hear that music, or maybe that person doesn't want to really hear that video, or maybe you should be more private with your conversation instead of having it on speakerphone in a waiting room kind of thing. It's like I'm sitting here, I've got headphones in, but I can still hear everything around me because I'm waiting to hear Sarah's name called or my name called, and it was just kind of it's kind of an observation thing I was realizing, like no one worries about stuff like that anymore. It's kind of weird. It bugged me a little bit where I'm like, dude, just put your headphones in, like bring a pair of headphones, like it's not that hard. They're $1 anymore, know?
Or turn it very, very low and just set it right beside your face.
I just think society as a whole, I think we've become more and more and more narcissistic.
Yeah, we're self-centered.
And I think that's a natural human
Says 3 guys that make a podcast for almost no one to listen
to. We're spoiled. I mean, and I say that all the time. I said Americans are so spoiled. We're so spoiled.
We have
it's great. I love being spoiled. I love it. But
we have to invent, problems.
It's created terrible things being this spoiled. I mean, to not get, exactly what you want all the time, It's
I was reading an article.
Doing a lot of reading lately.
I do. Well, I always do a lot of reading, Ryan.
Okay.
But
I'm just not sure if reading an article is synonymous with watching a YouTube video or...
No.
Okay.
I spend a large majority of my day reading articles. Majority.
In the
large
bathroom?
Large majority.
In the bathroom.
But it was about... I find the whole like GMO like the battle that rages back and forth between those very interesting, because I see myself kind of in the middle, and I think this kind of goes to the narcissism and the issue that society has as a whole. My stance is that science can be very good, and genetically modified can be good.
Yeah.
On some things, but we need to know what's the science and what are we doing with it. So I'm not necessarily hugely against GMO, but I have some questions about it. And on the other side, organic is good too.
Right.
But the gist of the article was basically, you have these Americans and in many places in the West, especially America, we have it so good that we have the privilege that we play being poor.
Right.
With, this is 100% organic that I grew, this farmer grew. And their whole thing was, the post was, where it all came from was somebody posted, if everybody just grew their own food at home, then we could all barter and trade, and then everybody could eat for free.
Right.
And the point, kind of the libertarian leaning point was, no, here's a better idea. Why don't a few people get really, really good at growing the crops and are highly productive at growing the crops, and then they will sell you some at a vastly reduced cost, and you go out and find a skill that you become really good at, and you can have trade that benefits everybody. But we're so spoiled that we pretend, that we're poor. So I just think that this whole transgender and the LGBT and the race disparity, it's just everybody's clamoring for attention. Me. When we have it better than we've ever had it in the history of the planet.
I know. Thanks, Wi-Fi.
It's hearing everybody, and Google search take.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Cortana take.
All right, ready?
Yeah. And we're you guys didn't notice. We took a short break there. Mike's son was feeling a little ill, and he had to step away from the board for just a moment. So Doug and I were sitting here talking while Mike was doing his fatherly duties. Good job, Mike.
I try my best.
He's got a sick wife and a sick kid. I mean, the guy's in high demand right now. So we're just fortunate enough that we're still able to record. And so we were sitting here, just Mike and I, or Doug and I were just chit-chatting a little bit about... I mean, we're getting close to an hour. We're about to wrap up the show anyway. But did you watch Game of Thrones this week?
I did.
Yes.
There's not a lot. I mean, and we saved this for the end here in case you haven't watched Game of Thrones or you don't want it spoiled for you or anything like that. There's not too much that actually can be spoiled. The show title itself was called the Red Woman, and I think a lot of people were alluding to the fact that Melisandre, the Fire Queen or whatever you want to call her, the priest of Ren or Relar.
Yeah.
They thought maybe he
priest
was
of Ren.
It's not Ren, Relar, isn't it? Is that the name of the fire god? They thought maybe the speculation was that she was going to raise Jon Snow from the dead, and
I think she's still going to do that.
That didn't happen. Well, I wouldn't say she. I possibly agree with you. I think it's to be more Bran than her. I want to see some old god action.
It's going. What?
I want to see some old god action.
You said it was going to be who?
Bran Stark. He's now one with the tree.
Okay.
He's now one with the tree, one with the old children.
The thousand dies
children.
or whatever.
Did that happen?
It happened at the end of is this season 6?
Yeah,
it happened at the end of season 4.
Well, he met the whatever.
The three-eyed crow.
Yeah.
But did it? Okay. I didn't know he was gone.
Well, they didn't cast. Not that they didn't cast him. They just they had no need for him last season because they knew they weren't going to go into that story at all. But
yeah,
I think I would like to see some old god represented because right now you just see the fire god and how powerful he is. But the old gods were in charge of Westeros for forever.
Right.
You know they were the trees, and we know that there's some mysticism within that because they allow all these wargs and these people to take on different animal forms and stuff. So
right.
I'd like to see Bran in control of the network now. He's sort of plugged into the Matrix. I'd like to see him maybe through Ghost reanimate Jon. There's a little bit of that in the book with their cousin Benjen, or not Benjen. What is their uncle?
Uncle Benji.
Is it Benji or something?
Yeah. But we haven't seen him since season 1.
Yeah, since he died. Well, in the book, he kind of comes back as almost like a Malfurion. Not Malfurion. That's the bad one. What's the good druid brother from WoW?
Malfurion.
Is that the good druid?
Yeah. Illidan is the bad one.
Okay, so the Malfurion he gets antlers on his head, and he's becomes like a good spirit of the forest. But
okay,
I think we could actually see some of that maybe manifest itself into Jon Snow's backstory. Or current story, I guess, but we'll see. I just want to see some. I want to see some. Do you think he's
actually going to be raised? Do you think he's going to be raised?
Jon Snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't do that.
I think so.
The Lady of Whispers is coming back.
I think he'll come back and protect.
So his mom.
Yeah.
I think he'll come back and somehow protect the wildlings from being slaughtered by the rest of the.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
You don't think the wildlings are going to be killed?
I think if the wildlings come back, there's more wildlings that he let through the wall that will come and fight back for him.
Yeah.
Than what there are in Alistair's little secret Black Crows, whatever. I think what we could see the wildlings come back really soon because we saw sort of that they're getting ready to beat the door down.
Right.
We could see the wildlings come back to Castle Black and take that place by storm, and then you see.
Well, hello.
Hey.
That was really loud. And then you see maybe he gets rezzed in the middle of the battle that takes place there, or you see some of the wildlings come in and sort of help maybe res his spirit or something like that.
Right.
Or what if he gets raised as a White Walker?
I don't think they would do that. I don't think
he would lead them.
But I will say that's what Uncle Benjen is sort of. I mean, he gets those antlers and stuff, but he seems like a White Walker, but for a good kind. So maybe they'll do something like that. But
maybe Samwell comes back and resurrects him with some magic.
I like to think of some some practical things that go into showrunners' jobs. And do I really want my main the main character of the North to have to? Do I really want to paint him blue and keep him blue forever? Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't write that story just because practically it would be very expensive to keep him in blue paint forever.
It's HBO though.
But still,
HBO will spend the money on it.
But I mean, even then though, you're robbing some of the joy of that.
They had
character.
the huge giants. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that they've done that most other cable networks are not going to do.
Yeah, but the huge giants aren't in every episode.
Yeah,
and the huge giants.
That doesn't mean Jon Snow has to be in every episode. There's a lot of other people that can spend a whole 2 episodes on.
I'm so glad that we're back with
Targaryens.
the Dothraki again.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So she.
Is that sarcasm?
No, Ryan, not at all.
I feel like that's sarcasm.
Maybe an ounce.
Did she drop the ring just for tracking? Right.
I think so.
Okay. It wasn't a Dothraki ring or anything.
No.
Like,
No.
That's what I was thinking. At first I thought that it was something like that. Like,
Now, I'd kind of forgotten about that whole, like, the widowers camp, but as soon as they said it, there's a part in the book where they sort of talk about that. Obviously, I don't think that's where she's going. I don't think she'll get there, but I don't know. I'm so tired of that storyline in general.
The
Like, I
faster,
don't care.
the faster they can wrap it up and get across the ocean,
But
the
see,
better.
that is a pretty big theme within the storybook. Like all of her advisors that are talking to her in the books are like, we have to stop pretending to be queen over here. We have to get you home and take over there. Us being stagnant here is not good for us or our army or our people.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go. Marine doesn't want us. They don't need us. They don't want you as a queen. We need to get out of here. So I understand sort of, like, as a viewer getting to that point too as well. I think it's part of the storytelling process, but I'm just so done with the story. Like, I'm not overly thrilled with her. I never have been, like,
I want to know what happened to Stannis.
Stannis
Stannis
Baratheon?
the Manus.
He got killed.
yeah.
Well, we didn't see him die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We saw her.
We saw
covering
her-
his blood
When?
when she swung her last slot at her.
You see a swing, but I didn't see her covered in
It
blood.
splattered, didn't it?
We saw her kill him last season.
He's dead. Well, he was missing a leg at first.
No,
He was. She cut his leg off, right? That's when he was.
no,
laying
he
beside
was
the
he
tree?
was sitting beside a tree when
I thought
she
his leg
found
was
him.
gone.
She killed him.
Yeah.
Wait,
It did not show her kill him.
Are you talking about the Hound?
No,
are you talking about
Stannis Baratheon?
Yeah, she
Stannis
killed him.
Baratheon.
She says, by order of the rightful king.
Yeah.
Right, but you don't see him die.
She stabbed him in the heart.
You don't see him die. You just see from her perspective that she looks like she's going to swing.
Why wouldn't
And
she?
Glenn's still alive too, Doug. Okay.
That's right. That's right. You're right. He's dead. He's dead.
Mm.
He's dead.
Okay.
She swore herself, like, she's done being.
Okay, I'll give you this. If he's still alive, the Red Witch is going to know it, and she's going to bring. She'll go back to him before she.
No, he lost. Like, that's why he died in the first place. He lost her favor. He sort of he stopped believing. You know what I mean? Like,
he burnt his kid for her.
Right, and then he lost.
How did he stop believing?
No, I'm saying, like, he lost when he lost
kid.
at Winterfell. She's learned that she's either been misinterpreting her visions or whatever. But I think that's part of the reason why we got to see the big reveal at the end of the last episode.
The Onion Knight's still alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters.
He's one of my favorite characters in the book. And there's a really interesting part where he goes to a whole nother city in the books that we haven't seen yet. But it's very similar to what's happening here with Theon and all this and that. But
yeah.
Who?
Theon.
No.
The Onion Knight? Sir Davos.
Sir Davos. The
guy who's got his fingers got cut off.
Oh yeah.
Keeps them in a pouch.
Yeah, the knuckles. The knuckles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knuckle pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how he handled what's his face, the guy that what's his name, the big dude at Castle Black who's running it now.
It's Alistair.
Yeah.
Sir Alistair.
How he talked to him.
I like the scene right before that when he was like, "Does the wolf trust you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You're gonna need the wolf.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to get it in here. Why? Because you're gonna need the wolf."
I'm terrible with names. I know who we're talking about if you describe them, but I'm so terrible with names in Game of Thrones.
The guy that I posted the meme of him with the Donald Trump hat on.
Yeah. He's gonna make
Okay,
it great.
yeah.
Make the wall great again.
They don't call him Alistair. What do they call him?
Alistair Thorne. It's
Thorne. They call him Thorne.
Yeah.
He was, if you didn't follow his story a little bit, he was the guy that was originally in charge of the gold cloaks in King's Landing. He's like one of the first guys that like Cersei Lannister screws over.
Who? Thorne? But in the TV show, he's not. They send that other guy up there. Remember? Thorne is there when they arrive. They don't talk about him ever doing any of that. They have sure? that. Yeah, they have that other guy who gets that they send to the wall, and he's the guy that hides. Remember, he's hiding in the pantry when the wildlings are attacking, and they end up. Maybe Jon Snow beheads him.
Maybe I got him backwards, but no.
But anyway,
yeah.
So I thought it was an all right opening episode.
It was pretty. I mean, it's never long enough, and it's probably like the fast. I mean, The Walking Dead can be a fast hour, but that always has commercials.
It's funny that it's never long enough, but it's actually longer than any other show.
I know, because it's a full 1 hour, but it's like it's never long enough, and they do a pretty good job of leaving you pretty much wanting more. It's one that, because we've been talking about cutting cable, we've been talking about taking that money and using it elsewhere within our finances, but it's one that I could honestly wait and watch it all
Cord
together.
cutting is not worth it.
It's not. Comcast has made it not worth it anymore. I mean, you could drop HBO. That'd probably save you $15-20 a month. But yeah, it's.
I'm saying it more of a lifestyle change than anything. We just need to stop watching so much television. Period.
But you'll keep your television because your deal will be better to keep your television.
Oh, we know. We called. We called. We kept the television and ended up with a landline. So yeah.
That you'll never use.
Yeah, I don't even have a phone to hook up to it. I don't know the number.
But it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
See?
But I understand. So. And they finally figured that out, which is great. Just price out the internet market. And
yeah, the internet on its own is ridiculously expensive.
That's really all we want anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to next week and so forth. I think I might be going to Indiana Comic Con on Sunday. We're waiting to see how it's working out. My son had kind of asked for that for his birthday, so we might go down Sunday and check it out. Also talked about going down to the Indianapolis 500 parade. Never been before, but I read it's like the third largest parade after the Macy's Day and the Rose Bowl parade.
I didn't know
that. And it's right here in our backyard, and I've never been before.
I did not know that.
So I'm going to do that too. So
quite interesting.
Overall, lots of stuff to look forward to this spring.
Yeah.
More golf with you guys. Be a good time. We need to play X-Wing again. Play X-Wing again.
Yeah.
I think I fixed my slice again.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go today?
No. I haven't got to go while Sarah's been here, but no, I went out Monday. Was it Monday?
How much does it cost you to hit a bucket of balls?
$650. $650, and I'm sweaty and sore.
For a large bucket?
Large bucket of balls is $650.
Well, maybe you and I just need to go out and hit a bucket of balls.
I'll do that.
Because
I can't go hit a bucket of balls.
You can come too.
But I'm just saying, like,
it's a little bit further drive for you.
I need to sort of.
MD's isn't that far from downtown.
I was just saying, like, tomorrow.
Oh.
But
it'll be raining. Well, it doesn't matter.
I need to work on my swing. I need to actually try to fix something. Because I'm not having any fun when I play golf because I just take an 8 every time.
You know what I fixed is my grip. It was my grip that was causing my massive slice.
I was messing with it a lot, and I had a lot of thumb pain after Sunday.
My hand was turned. My top hand was turned very outward. What I had to do is basically both of my hands needed to come in. So my top hand is almost all the way on top.
Like I feel my thumbs already starting to hurt a little bit.
It feels weird, but it's the correct way to hold it. And then your second hand should be you set the club down with your top hand flipped over. This is how I corrected my slice, at least.
I don't have a slice. I just have zero power.
I do. But so I top hand right on top of the club, and then as I set my club down behind the ball, I stick my other hand out like I'm holding the club, but point downwards to aim my hand and then grab the club and bring it over and grab the club.
So when you're looking down, the crease between your thumb and your index finger
It's actually like
is
this,
pointing
like
towards your right shoulder or your left shoulder.
the crease toward
This arrow right here. This arrow right here.
That's pointing almost all the way over here.
I thought we'd
towards my
already
right
talked
shoulder.
about this.
Is this your back
before?
swing?
We've talked about this in previous years about rotating the hand
Yeah.
over the
Well,
top.
I
or
did,
under.
and I was hitting 225 yards.
Okay, that's why I do that.
Yeah. So
I know we've covered this topic before.
Yeah, I would know that if we haven't.
but we
so-
didn't do it. But I didn't do it. Whatever I said, but this time I did it, and it
Which way
worked.
does your hand go?
Mine.
When you're gripped up, which way is that? Okay, so we're talking about the thumb, between the thumb and the index finger. There's a crease there. between the thumb.
Standard V.
Standard V. And which way? So it's coming right back to the center of your chest, or are you rotating your hand enough that it's pointing towards your forward shoulder?
When I sometimes I used to have more of a roll over the top
Yeah.
on my
So
this hand to try to train myself on to follow through more.
So you would be pointing towards your forward shoulder.
So like when I grip, I'd roll this hand
Yeah.
more over the top.
Your bottom
when-
hand?
No, I rolled my top hand
Okay.
over
Oh, okay.
like this. So like right now, typically when I grip, it's just standard kind of V.
Right.
So,
But I think you correct yourself by that turn that you almost do with your bot. You bring your front shoulder down and you turn your head.
I turn my head. Yeah.
You bring your shoulder down a little bit too. I've watched it pretty close because I was like, oh, maybe I need to do that to straighten myself out.
It's just a muscle memory trick that I've used to the big thing is to help me keep my head down. Like,
yeah, that's what I would
anytime that's my biggest problem is anytime that I do not hit the ball well, it's almost always because I try to go too fast. I try to swing
Right.
too hard and too fast, and I'll move my head. If I just stay focused and keep a good tempo, then I hit the ball fine.
Right.
So it's because it's all in that the mindset. You get up there a lot of times. You're like you get in your stance, and your stance feels really good, and you're like, I'm really gonna wail on the ball. And then when you go to swing, and you may have a fine backswing, but as soon as you're coming down, you jerk off and you look up, and then that's when you'll hit on the top. That's my biggest problem, is I'll hit on the top and duff the ball. So, keeping the head down, I really don't have an issue. I've never really had much of an issue with a hook or a slice.
Well, I
So-
do.
See, I never have
Obviously.
either. I mean, my balls almost always go straight. They just go 80 yards.
Mine
of 200.
As
I think
was telling
your problem is you really need to get custom fit clubs to your size.
yeah.
I've said, how long have you had
for a long
those?
time? For a long time.
I was my problem was I was crossing the ball when I was hitting, and I was coming down
Right.
and across the ball, which was causing that spin on the ball, which would swing it out. Because no listeners, I don't think have ever seen my golf shot, but basically it goes out about, I'd say 100 yards and takes a sharp turn to the right, a very sharp turn. So it'll go straight for a while, and then it takes that spin. So. But it's gone, and I went over 200. I was past the 200-yard mark. I was pretty sure I was going close to 220 yards on a good straight hit. So.
Cool. All right, we'll have to go out again. It'd be great. It'd be good times. So, all right.
Okay. Well, okay.
Do you want me to play the music? Is
Well,
that what
I didn't
you're
know
waiting
if you wanted me to play the music. If you wanted me just to
on?
start
No,
it.
I don't want you to play the music. I'll go ahead and play it.
You can follow us on Facebook.com/Buffalo Brotherhood. You can give us a like. You can follow all the releases for the shows. I'm releasing some Facebook stuff or some YouTube stuff there as well. If you want to watch the video podcasts, which we're doing on a weekly basis now, you can follow me at Buffalo Cast. You can, is that right? At Buffalo Cast on Twitter. You can follow me. Follow the show at BOBcast Nation. You can follow Mikey on Twitter at FuMan2, 2 O's, 2 N's, and the number 2. You can follow Doug on Twitter at Refried Evil. We've got a blast tonight, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Go out and vote on Tuesday and comment on our Facebook page. Tell us who you voted for if you live in Indiana. If you didn't, I guess you don't have to tell us who you voted for. That'd be...
When's
Let me
Iceland's election?
I'm not sure. Make a prediction. Make a prediction. I wrote down our predictions. We'll see who gets closest come next Tuesday. So there you go. That's your call to action this week. Get on there. Make a prediction. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.